Hello and welcome to another episode of Puttering Outdoors. Today I'm going to be fixing the trailer that I built. This is all made out of reclaimed wood. It works pretty good, and I also put this top on it. We redid our deck as well, and we used this as a mobile workbench. I screwed down the miter saw to it, and it was really nice. It did a really good job. So what I want to do is modify one of my trailer hitches. Actually, I just bought one at Princess Auto. It was like $15 on sale. So I thought, geez, instead of going to buy some tubing and all that to build a trailer hitch, I'll just use that one. And I want to keep this this style trailer hitch just so I can still hook it up to the garden tractor. So as you can see, I got this, and that was made out of spare metal that we found in the backyard as well. This is the hitch that I bought, and I think all I got to do is drill a hole in here to accept that pin that attaches the trailer. So let me go figure out what kind of size I need to drill the hole, and I'll set up the drill press to do that, and then we'll try it out. It was quite easy to drill the hole for that. Surprisingly easy. And this pin, I just made it out of a nail. I cut off the nail and I drilled a hole in it for a quarter pin. I tell you, when you want to get something done. And I got this stand too, to hold the trailer up properly. Nope. Had to go put another layer on it. It's so cold outside. Okay, so I'm gonna go drop off the cover. This cover, by the way, comes off. I'm gonna go drop off that cover, go get a load of wood and bring it inside, see how it works. I don't doubt it's gonna work, or I don't have any doubts that it's gonna work good. I still want to give it a try. In the previous video, I said that the community mailboxes were on our property. Well, behind those community mailboxes, that's where I had found the chainsaw, the steel chainsaw, and they had left the subdivision sign there. It was, I don't know how long it's been there for, but we took that sign and we used it as the base of the trailer. So, and it works pretty good. And I got this this door too, or hatch, I guess, for the trailer. It served us really well. We carried a lot of dirt, rocks, I don't know, we carried a lot of stuff in it, and now it's gonna carry firewood for us. So let's see how good it's gonna work. We have a bin inside of the house, and I knew how much to put in the back of the truck in order to fill up that bin. I don't know how much in here. The bin's not totally empty, so I'm not gonna go overboard, but I think that should fill it up. We'll give it a try. Okay, that filled up the bin really good. I'm just gonna go park it now, put it back in the pop-up trailer or pop-up tent, pop-up garage. I just hope that in the winter, when I put the loader in there, that this trailer can fit in there as well. I usually keep it stood up. I'll show you that when I go drop it off. So I'm gonna store it like I usually store it. It'd be nice if I could store it without standing it up, but it's not heavy, it doesn't really matter. It'll definitely hold the loader and the trailer, because the trailer can come forward another, I don't know, 3-4 feet. So yeah, I think this will be a good solution instead of having to swap the loader with the snowblower every time. It's gonna make my life a lot easier, that's for sure. In case you guys want to see what the underneath looks like. And those wheels and shafts, and buy those. My mother had them laying around, and so she gave those to me. So that trailer cost me a whole lot of nothing. So it's really nice, does the job. I should see if there's grease zerks on here. Although I did go through one set of this, because the first time we used it, boys, we loaded it up full of rocks, and these wheels weren't really made to handle that kind of weight, so the bearings blew out on it, and I put those in, and I've been watching the amount of weight that I put in there, and it's been holding on pretty good. And when I showed standing it up on end like this, I noticed that one of the bearings in one of the wheels was not so great. It was quite loose. So I went ahead and bought 4 bearings. So I'll change all 4 bearings in these tires. The bearings that come in these tires is they're not the best. They're basically open bearings like this with just a race inside, and they always, you know, they're not rated for a lot of weight. They I think the wheels themselves are rated for like 180 pounds or 200 pounds. But then these bearings that I bought, these are closed bearings, and these are rated for, I think it's 600 pounds each, and 2 per wheel, 4 total. Yeah, that's like 2,400 pounds. I think I'll have enough. I think these will last a lot longer, and they're only like $5.99 at Princess Auto, or $4.99. It wasn't bad at all. Let's just hope I got the right size, and that it'll fit on the shaft that I have and into the wheels that I have. Here's one of the wheels. You can see that I removed those bearings. One side was still good, but I'm still going to remove it and replace it. And yeah, I'll take you along for the process. Now, before I go ahead and put the bearings in the wheels themselves, I want to make sure they fit this shaft. But this shaft has mushroomed out a little bit on the edges here. And plus I can't get this race off from the previous wheel. As you can see, it kind of broke off. There's a race right there. So I'm just going to file down this end here so I can properly test to make sure that the bearings do fit. This is just an aluminum rod. It's 15 millimeters, I think 5/8, maybe 15 millimeters or 16 millimeters. And yeah, easy to file. All right, I'm done doing the wheels. I didn't get to record much of it, or any of it at all, because my neighbor, he came up, and you know, we had a beer and did that together, and you know, it came out really good. The bearings fit into the wheels real nice and tight, so they're holding in there, pressure fit. And we had to file down the shaft a little bit. It's a good thing my neighbor was here, because he had some emery cloth and I didn't have any, so he went down and got some emery cloth and brought it back up and hooked up the shaft in the drill press, and just ran the emery cloth up and down until the bearing could fit on the shaft. It didn't slide right on. We still had to tap it in. We wanted to have a nice pressure fit, so the bearing doesn't end up spinning on the shaft itself. It's the bearings that do all the spinning. So yeah, it turned out really good. They roll really smooth, and they're nice and solid. Way better than those other cheap bearings. those other bearings is just like a race and an outside casing, and anyways, it didn't work really good. This one here is there's one bearing that's a little tight in it, but it'll work just fine. So yeah, so the next thing I'm gonna do is service the snowblower for this winter. And I do want to mention a part of the snowblower that broke last year. My neighbor and I, we fixed it together. It was an expensive fix, but I'll share that with you, and hopefully it'll be a nice, I guess, word of caution for you, for anybody that has the same snowblower. It's the BX2816. What happened is the drive chain at the back of the snowblower, it got loose and it skipped a tooth and got caught between the two gears, and it broke the chain, and that chain was very expensive. I forget how much it was. I'll have to look up the price and I'll put it on the screen, but it was very expensive and a pain to change. But anyways, I'm gonna check to make sure that that chain is got the right play in it, because I guess they look at or they tell you how much deviation it needs or it should have. And I'm gonna grease all the zerks and get everything ready. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the deviation in the chain. Just got to remove this shroud so I can check. And this is the chain when it came off, or something happened. I don't know exactly what happened, but I know I was blowing and all of a sudden I heard this loud bang, and when I checked it, or when I tried to turn on the snowblower again, nothing would happen. The auger wasn't turning, the fan in the housing here wasn't turning, and all the shear bolts were still on, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I thought maybe the drive shaft, maybe that one, or the PTO shaft, maybe that one broke or something, but it was spinning, so I knew it was something back here. And when I checked, this chain had broken. It seems to be really tight right now, and as you can see, we sprayed a lot of lithium grease on it just to make sure that it would you know, stay lubricated longer. You're supposed to oil this chain every 4 hours of use. You're supposed to tension this every 24 hours, and you can have a deflection of 1/16 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch, or 1/16 of an inch at 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, it's 1/16, in between 1/16 and 1/8. That's what they say here in this paragraph. I don't know why they said at. It shouldn't be at, it should be between, but anyways. So I'll measure that, make sure that it's okay, and I'll check to make sure that the bolts are still tight, because I think what happened is the adjustment bolts on the side, this one here and the one at the bottom down there, one of them must have gone loose or something, so that it pulled the two sprockets closer together and made it too loose, and then the chain bent and got caught between the two sprockets. So I'll go measure that and make sure that those are tight. They say to check that after the first 8 hours of use, then after 24 hours of use, every time after that. And I totally missed that part of the maintenance in the manual. I wish I would have caught that, because I would have saved myself the $100. I think it was even more than $100. I don't know. I remember it being a crazy price, and it was double the price to replace the two sprockets too, which I probably should have done, because some of my sprockets got damaged pretty bad. I had to file them down in order for the chain to not get worn out prematurely. So some of the teeth I had to file down. They're still quite substantial. They're not, it's not like I got teeth missing or anything like that. Please make sure that if you have this snowblower, the BX2816, that you do check your chain tension to make sure that it's right. Oh my lord, my French tongue has got a hard time saying that. But anyways, let's move on to the rest of the stuff. Greasing all the Zerk fittings and making sure everything's okay, everything else, because they're calling for a storm later this week. So far they're saying 30 centimeters. I think that's probably like 8 inches of snow, 8 to 12, I'm not sure. So I want to be ready, just to make sure if later or closer during the week, because right now we're Sunday, if you know by Monday or Tuesday they don't change the forecast, I'll take off the loader for probably the last time this season, and I'll put the snowblower on, and I want it to be ready for winter. So we did already have snow this season. We had maybe like, I don't know, 4 inches. It stayed on the ground for a couple of days, but then it melted, so I never bothered snow blowing. The driveway was it almost melted at the same time that it was falling. We had a slight accumulation on there, but the lawn, there was a good 4 inches on the lawns. But anyways, okay, let's go ahead and check the rest of the unit. Doesn't call for any grease on this, but I still want to put some on just because it'll just make it easier, I guess. I guess there was a seal on there before. Not anymore. Let's do the other side now. That side's all black because of the soot from the muffler. And this I mean, it's to take on and off the snowblower from the 4-point hitch. And I usually just do this, you know, twice per season, I guess. Once to put it on, once to remove it. But still, I don't want it to be hard to do. Okay, I think that's it for this part of the snowblower. This here, you don't really want to grease that. It's a pretty freestanding structure. As you can see, it's loose, so you don't need to grease it. You could put a little bit of lithium grease on it, but you don't want to put any thick grease because then it might freeze. And yeah, so let's move on to the 4-point hitch. Okay, I'm going to start by greasing the nipples for the pillow blocks. And this doesn't grease the bearing itself, it just greases around it, I guess. Then I'm going to grease the nipple for the U-joint. Grease the nipple for the spline. And then grease this last nipple here. I'm not sure how I'm going to access this one. For this U-joint down here. There you go. I got it. It's right in there, the second spline for the U-joint. I'm trying to see if there's any other places. A couple of bearings though there, but those are sealed bearings. That might be it. I'll have to add some grease to this when I go to connect the PTO shaft. Oh, talking about the PTO shaft, I should grease that one. Okay, there's a Zerk fitting right here. There's no play at all in here, which is really great. It's good that I'm doing this because some of the grease that's coming out of there seems a little wet. You can tell some moisture got in there. It was under a tarp. It wasn't. It was out of the elements, but still. I won't grease this one now. I'll just grease it once it's on the tractor because that it'll help it distribute around all the splines. So there, that covers the maintenance for the snowblower. It's ready for winter. All I gotta do is mount it on the tractor. I might wait till a little bit later this week. I don't know. I still want to leave the loader on the tractor with the pallet forks or the bucket. But it looks like I might have no choice but to put on the snowblower soon. But yeah, I love using that snowblower, man. It's a lot of fun. I like being outdoors in the winter. Even though I got no cab in my tractor, I like being out in the elements and, you know, snow blowing, and I don't know, I find it so peaceful and enjoyable. It's like playtime for me. But yeah, anyways, I'll leave you here. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe, and I hope I see you again in the next one. Thanks.